Hello, this is Gaurav here from Zealand Immigration. I'm going to be doing a lot of online videos, and this is for clients who have common questions and the questions that I face every day in my professional practice, or my other advisors. They get a lot of inquiries and simple phone calls, and a lot of the time they think that people are not clear on a very core instructions around immigration. Now the topic today is skilled migrant residence visas, and also there's another core adjoining topic to it, and that is essential skills and the meaning of skill shortage list, and how does it affect the skilled migrant category applications. Now for the skilled migrant category, these are the applications where people can apply for the residence, and it works on a point system. So as of now, the main requirements are that you need to have 160 points, $25 an hour, and a skilled job. And the skilled job would be a job which is NSCO skill level 1, 2, or 3. So skill level 1 are the professions who are higher top management ones, CEO, general managers, or researchers, or doctors. Skill level 2 are the managers, cafe, restaurant managers, or hospitality or retail. Skill level 3 comes in at technicians, retail buyers, project administrators, cooks can get residence. However, a lot of the time people ask us questions. There was a rumor a few weeks back. Oh, look, the skill shortage list has been changed and the cafe manager are taken out. And then people start advising other people, well, we can't get a residence as a cafe manager because it's no longer on a skill shortage list. Now, this is a big superstition, myth, or misunderstanding in the community or the migrants. And I just want to clarify, having something on a skill shortage list doesn't mean that person would get residence or not get the residence. The skill shortage lists are not related to skilled migrant skilled occupation list, right? So for example, having a cafe manager on a skill shortage list just means that you're going to get extra points if the profession is in a long-term skill shortage list. Now the another way to look at it is not just having a profession on a skill shortage list. You also need to meet the requirements, the qualification and experience requirements. So in a nutshell, if something is not on a skill shortage list, it doesn't mean you're not going to get your residence. It means nothing, because every skilled occupation is not on a skill shortage list. But if something on a skill shortage list, you're going to get extra 10 points if that profession is on a long-term skill shortage list, and you meet the qualification requirements. For example, chef is there, right? So chef needs 5 years experience plus level 4 if they want to get 10 points based on a long-term skills shortage list. But if there is a chef who has 160 points already, he doesn't need to bother whether his profession is on a long-term skills shortage list or not. For example, the doctors are not there. The nurses were not there. They've just been put in. So there's a lot of occupations which are not on skill shortage list, and then it doesn't mean that they won't get residence. They will still get residence as long as the occupation is a skilled occupation on NSCO skill level 1, 2, 3. So that is something I want to make it clear again. By not having something on a skill shortage list, or having something on a skill shortage list or any occupation, doesn't mean you're going to get residence or not going to get residence. It just means that you're going to get extra 10 points if your profession is there. Now, what is the actual meaning of skill shortage list? The skill shortage lists were designed to enable the industry to get more migrants. For example, if something is on an immediate skill shortage list or long-term skill shortage list, or Canterbury as a construction and infrastructure skill shortage list, this just means that you can apply for the work visa without having to do the labor market check. You don't have to do the trade me advertisement. You don't have to do the work and income labor market check. You can just offer the job to somebody from anywhere in the world, and they can just apply for the work visa if their profession is in a long-term skill shortage list, or immediate, or Canterbury, or construction infrastructure shortage list. That is the only meaning of skill shortage list, by having those. And those lists they keep updating every now and then, and then they don't hold a lot of value towards residents. So that is something that I want to clarify. What is SMC and how it is related to skill shortage list while it's not, and then what is the meaning of having something on a skill shortage list and why it is there. Now, there's another thing that I want to cover in terms of 160 points. Obviously, you can get points based on your age, you can get points based on your occupation, you get points for bonus points if that occupation is not of Auckland, if the job is out of Auckland, you get points for the qualification. But one other gray area that we have noticed in our practice, and I think the effects of that gray area, they're gonna come in next 1 year, right? And that gray area is that a lot of students who came here to study level 4, 5 or 6, 2-year study, that means they only get 40 points for their study. They need to have a 2 years skilled experience to gain 10 points to reach up to 160. Now, those 2 years, that experience needs to be skilled experience, right? So skilled experience means that the profession where you can apply the residence from. Now, what I have seen lately, what people are wondering, that they can just work in as assistant manager, or they can just work as a manager in a one job. Let's say, I can give an example of BK or KFC or Subway or any franchise business. So usually it's quite tricky to get a residence from franchise business because it's very hard to prove that the store manager or a shop manager is a skilled role, because the head office and marketing and product mix and things are done by them. However, there's a lot of clients who thinks that they can just work for 2 years as a manager in those franchise chains or franchise jobs, and when they are due to apply for the residence, or when they have a 2 years experience as a manager, they're going to move out and get a job who can secure them a residence, or with an employer, or a job where they can apply a residence. But my question is, if that job they think was a skilled job where they're going to get experience from, then they could apply the residence from that job itself. But the answer is no. I mean, you don't get a residence from Pita Pit or Subway or a lot of franchise businesses, provided that there's exception circumstances and there's different things in a franchise agreements. There are some franchise businesses where you can get a residence from. But what I'm trying to get it out, that people can't do or can't claim 2 years skilled experience points if they were not working in the skilled employment. Now, if you apply for essential skilled work visa and then spend 2 years on that visa being a mid-skill, then that's fine, because immigration has already assessed you as a mid-skill on your essential skill visa. But the problem is that after 26th of November 2011, a lot of people have open work visas. That means they can work anywhere to get those 2 years under their belt and then claim 10 points. But I think people need to realize that those 2 years needs to be skilled experience in a skilled occupation. They can't just work anywhere, and they can't just work in any job and then claim 10 points. A lot of people come to me, oh look, I can get a letter from the employer that I was working as a manager, and then my question to them is, what was the pay rate? If the pay rate was $17 an hour or $18 an hour, which is nearly same or similar to the minimum wage, then that experience is not skilled, because immigration office is going to say, well, hang on a second, I do understand you have the documents to prove that you have worked 2 years as a manager, but where is the evidence that you worked as a manager so I can give you those 10 points? Or your pay rate was not same as the market pay rate for manager, you were just on a minimum wage. So you may have got the letter that you worked as a manager, but that is not evidential, and there is no facts around it that you were working as a manager. So those people will get problems, and that is a gray area, and that problems will start coming maybe after 6 months or 1 year now, because those 2 years open visa holders will start getting or becoming eligible to apply for the residence now in next 6 months to 1 year. So that is something that you're going to be very, very careful of, and I think it's good to take an advice in advance. If you're working towards claiming a skilled experience, take advice in advance whether you can claim those 2 years as a skilled experience or not. So that's all I wanted to cover in today's topic. I mean, and also a lot of people get just too concentrated on a routine professions, or welders, chefs, or cooks. I think you need to explore the skilled occupationalist. So if you're working with a lawyer or an advisor or somebody like us, then you should just ask your legal representative, hey, look, can I have the copy of skilled occupational list, because that list is in the manual, it's not online. And if you can get a copy of skilled occupational list, you can see a lot of occupations are there which are skilled, and people don't work towards it. I mean, dairy farmers. Now, dairy farmers is a bit tricky to get a residence because you need to be a farm manager, but if you can be a wool classer, or you can work in a sheep farm getting the wool out, then that is a skilled. So it's much easier to get a residence as a shearer, getting the wool out from the sheep, than getting a residence as a dairy farmer, as a farm manager. So why not go and work in the wool farm? So that's something that people don't know, and I think it's very, very important to take advice and explore your options in advance and then plan accordingly, because residence is something which is planned. You really need to plan. It's like planting a tree and then see it growing and the fruits come out. So the residence is exactly the same thing. You need to plant a seed, and then it becomes a plant, and then it gives you flowers, and then it goes with the fruits. So it's a planned thing, and I think it's good to take advice in advance, plan your residence, and then lodge it once you are 100% confirmed, because it's not a small exercise. It's a big job. It involves money, a lot of emotions are there, and you really want to get it right the first time. So if you're thinking about it, take advice in advance, discuss with your legal representative, and then lodge it once you're 100% sure that you're going to get it.